Hey guys, we're finally back to a movie review, okay? Yeah, I know, it's been since we did all those videos. I'm starting to get through the movie review, okay? We got him here because he says he wants to review this movie too. Did you say you want to review this movie? Did you? I did not say I wanted to review this movie. I said I wanted to review your channel and talk about how bad it is. Okay, look, I know you hate my channel. I know you hate me a little bit. But you can't just get like that, okay? Just because my channel's failed doesn't mean you have to talk all trash about it. Of course I do. What are you gonna do about it? Oh. Anyway, so the movie we're reviewing is a movie that recently came out around March 13th or so. And this movie is the one that's the one that returned for the series. Captain Marvel. Why do people love Captain Marvel so much? Well, that's what I'm gonna figure out, because Captain Marvel has been a big hit since its release, and people are hyped for it with reviews and good ratings for Marvel Cinematic Universe. What do I think though? What's my thoughts on the movie? Is it a good thing to think about after Stan Lee, Well, anyway, to start this off, we're going to do what we do in every review. Start with who's in the movie. We're going to name 4 of the main characters, who they play, and how they act. So, let's get going. So let's first look at our hero, Captain Marvel. Her real name is Carol Danvers. She's played by Brie Larson. Brie Larson knows who Captain Marvel is. She actually looks so familiar, Some Marvel Cinematic Universe heroes do have a big change to their look, but Captain Marvel doesn't have that big of a change. She looks pretty similar to how I picture her in the comics. Sure, her original design before was green, but then they upgraded her. They even gave her the mask to wear at one point, which was really impressive to see. And yeah, Brie Larson is great at performing Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel knows what he's doing. She's in the performance really well. And I know you're all gonna think, oh come on, everyone knows Chris Evans is great at Captain America and Robert Downey Jr. is great as Iron Man. Yes, almost all have a similar look, but not all do. Spider-Man's look kind of changed. Captain America look changed in Infinity War. Star Wars the Guardians of the Galaxy look nothing like their comic design. But regardless, Captain Marvel is in the look-alike team. And next there's Nick Fury, who's in this movie. He's again played by Samuel L. Jackson. And this time it's actually changed, because Samuel L. Jackson is playing Nick Fury as this day, where Nick Fury doesn't have an eye patch. He's not bald. He's young. This was made at his young age. How did he get the eye patch though? That's what I'm figuring out. We'll figure that out once we get to the story. Anyway, Samuel L. Jackson's doing the same as he did in the other movies with his performance. I love Samuel L. Jackson, okay? He is in stuff like The Incredibles, Avengers, Pulp Fiction, and so on and so forth. Oh yeah, he's in Unbreakable, too, which is great. Regardless, though, ever since Glass, where a movie I wasn't a big fan of, this was a good chance for Nick Fury to come back in his performance and play for Samuel L. Jackson. Is it good, though? Is it great, better than the other ones? In my opinion, yes it is, okay? I'm sorry, but Nick Fury just does a better job at this than he does in the other movies. I mean, he's good in the other movies, but I really love how he's actually helping out the entire thing in this movie. In the other movies, he was just there to lead the group. Here, he's actually with the group. And he's actually has a lot of stuff to say, regardless of how much he says in the other films. And as we go by let's look at the other characters. We have 2 villains. The two villains are Yon-Rogg and Talos. Yon-Rogg is played by Jude Law, who is very evil, okay? He is evil, evil. Not as evil as Loki or Thanos. Okay, no one can beat Thanos. He's the best villain ever. But really though, Yon-Rogg is actually a tough villain to defeat. It took an entire movie to get him down, because it started with him in the opening, and then it led to now. So yeah, Jan Brog is a tough villain, but he still has some flaws. He doesn't like flaw, doesn't like have a, he flies and does all that stuff, but he doesn't necessarily have as much talent as all the other superheroes. So I put him on the ranking of not as great as the Avengers villains, Spider-Man villains. He is way better than the Captain America villains, I'll say that. But that's not the case here. And the next villain is Talos, who is played by Ben Mendelsohn. Okay, Ben Mendelsohn is doing a villain in every movie he's in. No, really though. Try naming a movie he was in that he played it. Well, okay, that could be, but in almost every movie he's in, he's the bad guy. He's a villain in almost every movie. He's a villain in Rogue One. He's a villain in Robin Hood, which sucked. He was a villain in Ready Player One. Now he's a villain in Captain Marvel. I can't believe he actually loves being a villain, you know? I mean, at least Tom Hiddleston had roles of being kind of good, and so some of the other, Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin can be a villain sometimes, but dude, Ben Mendelsohn, I've seen Ben Mendelsohn movies where he's the villain, okay? He's just a villain, that's just who he is. He should just call him Ben Villain Mendelsohn, because he's nothing but a villain. Anyway, Talos is also a villain in the movie, and he is performed okay, actually. Sure, he's not as great as the other Avengers villains, like I mentioned, but regardless of that, I really like his performance, and I'm seriously excited to see what happens, because I'm actually predicting Talos will return in the next Captain Marvel movie, if there is one. Even if he died, it doesn't really give him a chance he could come back, you know? Thanos never died. Now, here's the big question. Did Stan Lee make a cameo even after his, As a matter of fact, yes, he did. And I'm going to have to spoil it for you all, because in the opening credits, we see the MCU intro, except all the images of it was Stan Lee, just to say, thanks, Stan, for doing this all for us. Yeah. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I have this guy with me because he's really into Stan Lee, so he can talk about the cameo. Can you talk about the cameo? No. Why? Well, anyway, Stan Lee's cameo is where he's one of the guys on the bus. He was on a bus in Doctor Strange, but this time he's reading a Mallrats comic. Because that was his number one cameo in Mallrats. He both saw him in Mallrats as a big role. So it makes sense that that's his cameo's look. I just really sad that Stan Lee is, it's kind of, he's dead, okay? He's dead. Just say he's dead. He's not that cool. Wait, what? Dude, you just say that. Dude, that really hurt, okay? Why would you say something bad about Stan Lee, you know? He sucks. He doesn't do anything but be in movies. He's stupid. He doesn't make comics anymore. Yeah, cause he's dead. Look, Stan Lee was a god. He was the guy who made the comic books, and the movies were the best thing ever. Performances put well. You see what you see. You understand what I'm saying here? Understand? Stanley's dead. I can't believe you talk like that. Anyway, now we got that out of the way, let's look at some of the effects this movie offers. Are they better than the effects we have in the other Marvel films? Well, let's see. So, half this movie takes place in space. Now, we see that type of thing going on in some movies, but this film takes place in space a lot. And Guardians of the Galaxy is all in space, so there's no exception. And half scenes in Avengers Infinity War were space. But Captain Marvel is space on the case, you know? Captain Marvel should just run by the Guardians of the Galaxy ship and be like, what are you guys? They'll be like, we're the Guardians of the Galaxy. Who the hell are you? She'd be all like, I'm Captain Marvel, and I'm going to be in the next Avengers movie. And then they're all like, well, half of us got disintegrated, so you're not going to be with us except for Rocket and Nebula. And then Captain Marvel will be all like, why? And then they'll be all like, because you suck. And then we'll just see what happens. Anyway, the effects of this movie put in really well. Because Captain Marvel's flying is worked as a good chance, you know? Not a lot of people call the effects to be, you know, creative. People don't really admire the effects as much as I do. I really enjoy them, okay? While I hated the effects in Aquaman for no reason, the effects in Captain Marvel were perfectly well done. Describe what a Marvel movie should be. Action, location, and best of all, character. So it's a good chance seeing this all happen, you know? Because Captain Marvel is great at describing a new person for the MCU who was one of the first to exist. I need to get more sleep. Yeah, so, because her movie took place after Captain America's first movie. And at that point on, the effects still look groundbreaking, even for something that takes place a while back. I mean, seriously though, Marvel is great at it. Even when Stan Lee's not around to see it, Marvel can still pull off what effects are used for. They're used perfectly, you know? I mean, I wish I could pull off effects with my computer, you know? My computer doesn't have an effects screen. And if I even own effects, they would have to be they would have to take so much effort. You know, I can't use that much effort in so little time in my life, okay? So in my old life, I'll be starting to do acting with effects really well done instead of just sitting on the camera. Regardless, though, Captain Marvel has some of the greatest effects of all time, and that's what makes it great. So with that being said, let's look at the story this movie offers. Is it the story that we all want to see or not? Let's take a look. So this story wouldn't take as good chance as the other MCU movies. Let's take a look. So the story goes by at this. Captain Marvel is an extraterrestrial Kree warrior who is caught in the middle of an intergalactic battle between her people and the Skrulls. And that was a big case, you know. When living on Earth in 1995, she keeps having recurring memories of another life. Because, as she knows, in her life of that, she also has a life of a U.S. Air Force pilot who works with a friend that actually helps them. They're all in the flying, you know? They'd be like, I feel the need for speed. But that's not what they'd be like. That's just Tom Cruise. Anyway, regardless though, so Captain Marvel has a good chance here. So with help from Nick Fury, Captain Marvel tries to uncover the secrets of her past while harnessing the special superpowers to end the war of the evil Skrulls. What happens in that? Well, first thing they do, they find a secret cat. Give me a sec. I had to do something. There was something I had to do about. Anyway, yeah, so they have to take the battle down. They fly a huge, ginormous ship, go find them after Captain Marvel lands in a video store before meeting up with them. She lands in a video store with a bunch of videos of, well, in the background. Did pop culture put an eye? Actually, I did. I did see a little bit of Disney, a bunch of Disney VHSs in the background. Simply because Captain Marvel is Disney shit. That's what they would do. Anyway, they also find a cat. Is this normal cat? Well, actually the cat actually got the comedy for the movie because this cat is pretty similar to the other cats. Like, imagine the cat from the Smurfs. This is what the cat is kind of like, except not poorly CGI'd or owned by Hank Azaria. Imagine this in the original Smurfs, where it moves correctly and its owner is Paul Winchell's performance. You see. But yeah, the thing is, they still have to find them to take them down, as they get some of their friends to figure this all out, and then they finally join up. Oh, and they also meet with this green guy. He's very weird, yet he's very powerful at the same time, as they all join forces to stop him. They stop him. Captain Marvel goes into space, flies to take him down, wears the awesome mask. The mask looks so cool. and the others have to stop him too. And with all that being said, the day is saved. So, when does do we ever figure out how Nick Fury gets his eye patch? Well, we kind of did. Nick Fury's eye gets scratched. That's what happens. The cat scratches Nick Fury's eye, which gives him the eye patch. I was thinking, did someone stab his eye with a knife? I was thinking, oh my god, did he join a battle, but sadly his eye got cut off? Or wait, I know what would have been cool. I was actually thinking I was thinking Nick Fury's eye would get pain because one of them chopped his eye off on accident without doing it. No, it can't scratch his eye. Anyway, after all that, the day is saved and Captain Marvel finally goes to Hawaii. As Nick Fury realizes the case as he finally gets the idea. He finally looks at the ship that has Avengers on it, which gave him the idea to set up a group of Avengers. So he calls his lineup Avengers, puts out a story, as that's what led to all Nick Fury telling all the Avengers, Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor, and Hulk to join the Avengers. Great way to describe it. What's the post-credit scene, though? The mid-credit scene is when Captain Marvel finds the last Avenger standing after Avengers Infinity War. She sees Bruce Banner, Captain America, Thor, Tony Stark, Black Widow, and she just comes in, which tells us she will be in Endgame. Yep, hip hip hooray! I mean, Black Panther's made a movie before Infinity War, but they got rid of him for no reason. Anyway, the post-credit scene was where Nick Fury's desk was just empty because he also got disintegrated. A Gak comes by and he's holding the big cube, the big silver, the jewel cube that was meant for balance, which was pretty powerful. So regardless of all that, there it is. Captain Marvel is without a doubt one of the most creative Marvel Cinematic Universe movies I know. Okay, I'd say it's a little bit it's not better than Infinity War. It does not beat Avengers, Infinity War, Black Panther, or Spider-Man, or any of that. But it still holds up really well for this point. So that being said, Captain Marvel is a really good movie, just not as great as the other some of the other top 4 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Alright, we got all that done. About good, right? So, I guess I can leave now. How do I leave? I don't know. Shazam!